Hello, it's Brianna Owens here, one of your SMARTamp champs. I'm here to talk to you today about one of my SMARTamp workspaces. This is a lesson for area and perimeter. I teach this with 3rd and 4th grade students. I particularly use this for my special needs students, but this could be used with a wide range of students. So to start my lessons, first of all, I always have a teacher note section in the top left-hand corner. So this is just a summary for the teachers. You can read through this, or if you just follow the bookmark tabs, it's pretty self-explanatory. And there's directions for the students, because I know if your kiddos are like mine, they really like to just get going on it. So the first thing that your students will see is just kind of the introduction to the lesson. This goes over the title, what they're learning about, some kind of visual just to kind of make it concrete. And then I always like to have a hook or a summary for students just to kind of get them engaged. So the first thing is you'll watch the YouTube clip, and this will just pop up right here in the screen for the kiddos to watch. You can always expand that, remember, with the zoom in or out tool. The next thing you'll do is you'll click on a tab, and this brings them to a game, and that's usually it's a feature of most of my workspaces, but this just goes over again the difference between area perimeter, and then they get to play a little bit with it before they go into working on the concepts. So the next portion, and my students are really into Legos, so I kind of went with that a little bit. The next portion is that they'll use the Lego pieces from the Lego bin to actually construct the perimeter for the different shapes. So they'll use the Legos, they'll click on them, and they can drag them. They can work together or by themselves, it's kind of your discretion. So you'll have them drag the Lego pieces to determine the actual perimeter of the shapes, and then they'll write those down. So they'll drag the shapes, and I'll fix that feature before I upload it, but they'll drag the Legos so that they can determine the perimeter. And then the next portion is that they'll move down here and work on constructing the area. So the same concept, they'll use the Legos to actually fill in the spaces to determine the area. And then if they're working on tablets, and if you have Legos, they can actually do this with the concrete. I have one student who is working on his fine motor, so using the actual Legos on top of the tablets has been really helpful, and he's still able to contribute then to the overall piece. And then the next portion is you want them to be able to sort out and kind of determine when to use area and when to use perimeter. And so for me, this portion took some direct instruction, but let me go to the bookmarks here. But you can do it independently, have them work on it and then review, or you can review as you're teaching it, of course. So the big thing, and especially for testing, is the kids understand when to use area and when to use perimeter. So I picked some phrases here, and it's up to the kids to kind of work as a team to determine if something's going to be area or if it's going to fall under perimeter. For example, a fence around a playground. Well, we know that's perimeter, but we want to talk about that language with the kids and why it would be perimeter versus area. And then the last portion, and you can pick if kids are going to work as a team or independently. I have some small groups, so I was able to just work on this with one class at a time. But they're going to work together to design a zoo. So the tasks are down below for the students, and their job is going to be to pick 5 animals to put in the zoo. And this, to me, came up with a lot of collaboration. It gets them to use the chat feature and gets them to really talk about why and animals and what they want. And then next, they're going to name the zoo. And again, this was really fun to get them practicing their typing and, and using the chat feature of this. So they'll work together, kind of a warm-up task to name the zoo. Then they need to pick 5 of the animals from the list over here, and they actually have to put them in the zoo. Then they need to mark the area and perimeter for each animal space. Now, it's very important that they don't run out of space, so they actually have to work as a team kind of to design this puzzle. The animal space requirements, they can be they can be more than the space listed, but they can't be any less than that. So then they'll use the pen tools or different features, and they would have to mark over what they want. So maybe they want a really big lion cage, and so then they need to map out where that's going to be in their zoo, label it, and then include the area and perimeter. And if they want to even drag the animals, I didn't lock them, so they can do that if they want to. It's up to them. So that is my workspace. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel for more ideas, tips, and tricks. And as always, feel free to call or email. My information's all on the website should you have any questions. Thank you guys so much. Happy teaching.